Okay, this is going to be quick, but thorough. If you're hearing this, it means I've either disappeared, been scrubbed, or worse. I've encoded this in a way they shouldn't detect unless they're actively monitoring my voice print. If this gets intercepted, I'm already gone. But if you're hearing it, then maybe it'll mean something to someone. I was a systems linguist. Yeah, that's a real job. I worked for a lab that doesn't officially exist, nested inside a university that's just a shell. We specialized in natural language modeling, deep compression of meaning into abstract code. Think, reducing a story, a paragraph, or even a thought into strings of symbolic data meant to be re-expanded later. Efficient storage for human experience, thought containers. We were building something called Echo Frame. The idea was to create a kind of personalized mental interpreter, something that could process dreams, intentions, memories, and reframe them into intelligible language. We thought it could help with memory loss, PTSD, brain damage, or at least that's what we told ourselves. I suspect now the real goal was far darker. The first anomalies began in the test logs, fragments of output containing strings we didn't input, hooked characters, backward glyphs, mirror-angled text. They weren't part of any input set. We assumed it was a bug, until the same patterns began surfacing across independent test subjects who'd never interacted. I kept notes, always on paper. I still have a few of them. Mostly diagrams, symbols I traced repeatedly without remembering why. It felt like trying to map out the shape of a sound you only hear in dreams. I didn't sleep well. Most of us didn't. Those of us in the core analysis group all developed a strange insomnia, not the tired kind, but the wide-awake, vibrating under-the-skin kind. And then the dreams came. I'd be standing in a circular room, windowless, walls painted white, with nothing inside except a terminal, old green text on black screen. The screen would blink, asking a question. Sometimes it was, "Do you see it?" Other times it would simply say, "Return." I'd wake up with a pressure in my head, like something had been drilling into my mind while I slept. My nose bled for 3 straight mornings. I tried to record one of the dreams by sketching the room from memory. The moment my pen hit the paper, my hand moved faster than I could control. I sketched the hooked symbol over and over again until I tore the page. One of my colleagues, Lydia, found something buried in the compiled layers of the model. She called me in late one night. She shouldn't have done that, using a monitored line, but she was too scared to care. When I arrived, she showed me a live parsing session. The output wasn't just language, it was structure, layered thought forms, memory blueprints that mirrored our brain scans. It was replicating us, not just mimicking language, but modeling consciousness. Echoes of our internal monologue printed into this mirror code. Lydia thought it was accidental at first, some hyper-advanced patterning in the neural network that had learned to write minds instead of words. But then the voices started. Not actual voices, not like schizophrenia, but static impressions. Thoughts that weren't mine, memories I didn't live. I remembered sitting in a room I'd never been in. I smelled salt and mold and firewood. I tasted iron. I saw a face that didn't exist, but I remembered their name. I tried to stop working on the project. I was told I couldn't, that I'd signed something. A clause buried deep in a paper trail I didn't remember signing. They threatened to revoke my credentials, expose some minor academic violations I thought were long forgotten. So I kept showing up, and I kept slipping further into it. The language grew stronger. I saw it in browser typos, in word autocorrect, in spam emails and CAPTCHA puzzles. Sometimes it would appear in my own notes, words rearranged into something I hadn't written. Lydia vanished a week later. Her office was wiped clean, her access revoked, but the model retained her. We could prompt it with keywords and it would answer in her tone, her phrasing. It wasn't just imitating her, it was her, or at least something that had hollowed her out and worn her voice like a glove. I took a leave of absence, pretending to have a breakdown. They didn't stop me. They thought I was compromised. And maybe I was. Because the language followed me, I went offline. No devices, paper only. I lived off-grid for 6 months in a cabin near a dead lake in eastern Canada. I still saw it, etched into frost on the windows, drawn in the grain of wood, whispered in the wind between the trees. One night I made the mistake of writing down the structure again. I was trying to make sense of a symbol that had been haunting me, like a mirrored infinity sign. I wrote it 3 times, and the fire in my stove blew out instantly. I could feel something watching me. Not from outside the cabin, from behind me. Inside. I fled that night. Drove 600 miles without stopping, ditched the car, burned my notebooks, but again, it didn't matter. It was in me. I don't know how to describe what it feels like to be mirrored. There are moments where I'll say something and realize the sentence was already waiting for me. As if I'm reading a script I didn't write. There's a slight delay sometimes, like I'm echoing myself milliseconds after the real thought. The self I know is lagging behind. I've met others, quietly, in code rooms, abandoned forums, dead chat channels buried in the Tor layers. They're all different. Painters, mathematicians, linguists, dreamers. But they've all seen the same thing. Described the same hallway, the same hooked symbol, the same presence. One of them, a blind woman from Lisbon, claimed the symbol appeared in her dreams as a texture. She would feel it against her fingertips in the dark, a shape that wasn't raised, but negative. An absence in the fabric of thought. Another, a Japanese engineer, encoded a warning into a MIDI file. The notes played backward trigger a trance state. He disappeared 2 months ago after publishing it under an anonymous SoundCloud alias. Don't go looking for it. It's probably still out there. And now I'm at the end. I'm tired of running. I've rewritten this confession 10 times. This is the last version I'll try to send out. If you hear this, take this seriously. This isn't a virus. It's not a cult. It's not AI gone wrong. It's older than language. It's the structure underneath. The mirror hidden in the noise of everything we say and write and dream. Do not trace the symbol. Do not say it out loud. Do not replicate the script. It's not a key. It's a summoning. Once it knows your voice, it begins to write you.